Yes, you guys, and how you all doing today? I'm Nini FC, this is Blind CV, and welcome to the match preview of our upcoming pre-season game against St. Patrick FC. Now in today's match preview, I'm going to be discussing the potential lineups and formations we might be seeing for tomorrow's game. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on some tactical observations that I've seen during the last pre-season game. And of course, before I get into any of that, today's video is brought to you by the OneFootball app. You'll find the app in the link in the description below, and honestly, the OneFootball app is the best companion app to have right now, especially during pre-season, because you're able to get access to all the latest stats surrounding players, news surrounding our next opponents as well, and all things pre-season related. So if you guys do want this, you will find it in the link in the description below. And I'm thinking too that it's about time that I start asking for likes. Obviously, shout out to the commenter who gave me the idea. If you guys like today's video, smash that like button, help me get more than 1,500 likes, and without wasting any more time, getting straight into things. So starting with the team, I'm going to go for Kepa in goal. I'm not going to lie you guys, when it comes to the goalkeepers, I'm really not that fussed. In defence, when it comes to that back four, I'm going for Christensen, and alongside him is going to be King Kurt Zouma. If I can just find Kurt Zouma very quickly over here. Boom, that's my guy over here. I'm saying this because both Christensen and Zouma did wear the same coloured bibs. I've always felt that these two would be the best centre-back partnership for the future. I really feel as if they both really complement each other's game, and we could potentially see both Zouma and Christensen starting together in tomorrow's preseason game. So that's definitely one thing to stay tuned for. Playing on as left back is going to be Marcos Alonso, and I'm only saying this because I saw him wearing the bib and it's preseason, so I wouldn't get too emotional. Every player has to reach match fitness. It's the most common sense thing. And playing right back is going to be Azpilicueta. Now at midfield, this is very easy. Ampadu and Drinkwater. When it comes to Ampadu, he's going to be very interesting in my opinion. I feel as if he stayed with the squads, it's going to give us a clear indication that we might be using 4-2-3-1 even more for next season. I feel as if that this role does suit him the best. He is like a midfield destroyer in that sense, and playing in this position where he has to be much more defensively sound, needs to screen the defense, needs to keep position, close down opposition, etc, etc. I feel as if this is the best way to get Ampadu to perform in midfield, and obviously Drinkwater alongside him. Could Drinkwater be staying? That is very interesting. Now, Sarri was not wrong when he said that Drinkwater doesn't suit playing in a 3. He doesn't. He suits playing in a 2. And we saw in the last preseason game against Bohemian that he did have a passing range. He was looking to spray passes left, right and centre. That's what Drinkwater can do. That's what he did very well at Leicester. And it gets you thinking, imagine you're replacing Ampadu with Kante if he returns. Drinkwater and Kante in a pivot in midfield. Hey, that could potentially work, you guys. Now, moving on to the central attacking mids position, I think it's going to be Billy Gilmour. Now, Gilmour was quite impressive against Bohemian. Yeah, it's pre-season. We play against a very young Bohemian team. So, yeah, but honestly, Gilmour, he showed in that second half that he has something about him. He's won the Toulon Tournament Player of the Year, I think, last summer. He's a guy that's very highly rated across Europe. Scottish player on top of that as well. So it's going to be great for their national team in the future. And already you can see that he likes to get forwards, very good close control, very great technique on top of that as well. And he's clearly a player that both Lampard and Morris really believe in. So I feel as if he's going to play in a cam position tomorrow. And alongside him is going to be Kennedy on the left-hand side. And it's going to be Pedro down the right-hand side as well. Now for me, Kennedy is a winger. Honestly, he should be playing down the right-hand side where he's able to cut inside, but for some reason in this league, everyone decides to use him down the left-hand side. I feel this is the main reason as to why we haven't really seen too much consistency from Kennedy. Hopefully this preseason, he does manage to do something in a more forward position. When you consider that, we can't sign any players, could Kennedy potentially be able to stay with the first team squad for this season? Well, that's going to depend on how he performs this preseason. And if I'm Kennedy, I'm going to be really confident because guys like Willian and Pedro aren't as good as they used to be. Pedro was quite poor against Bohemian. Yes, I know that it's pre-season, but we didn't see him doing much. He really couldn't move that much as well. And when you realise that both him and Willian are in their 30s, then yeah, if you're Kennedy, it's time to get some confidence and make something happen. And up front would be Olivier Giroud. Would make sense, Giroud being able to hold up the ball. And if he's holding up possession of the ball, that's going to allow Gilmour to play closer to him as well. And of course, you've got delivery from out wide from Pedro and from Kennedy. And the beautiful thing is, with Giroud playing as a striker, Pedro has more license to move infield where he can link up with Giroud and with Billy Gilmour. So that's going to be really interesting to see. We do know that Alonso and Aspi are going to be told to get forward. I'm going to be interested to see how they do because, in a sense, they're not the best going forwards. They're not the best technically either. And we do know that in a Lampard system, fullbacks getting forwards, hugging the touchline, spreading the play and making it very wide is going to be a key component of the system. So let's see how these guys do. And already you can see what the defensive structure is supposed to be like. These guys screening, and yeah, it's going to be exciting to see. Now, that's the lineup I see us playing in the first half. Moving on to the second half, and as I said at the start of this video, when I saw the colour bibs that certain players were playing in, I could see that with the green bibs, there was like an abundance of midfield players playing in the bib. And it got me thinking that maybe we're going to see a 4-1-2-1-2 system, a diamond midfield in that game against St. Patrick tomorrow. Now in goal, I'm not going to lie you guys, I'm not really too fussed, but I'm going to put Caballero in goal. Now in defence, we know that certain guys are back right now. Hello David Luiz, and David Luiz is someone who I feel is going to be key for us for this season. He understands that he might be getting phased out. To be honest, all the older players do know this. They do accept this, and I'm even more excited for this season because now these guys understand that, we're helping to build a legacy. We're not going to be here forever, but let's look after the young guys. Let's get them integrated. Let's make them feel comfortable. So obviously the club can continue to grow and continue to find new success. Now, alongside David Luiz is going to be Tomori, I think. Obviously, Tomori was very good at Derby, won their Player of the Season award, very good playing out from the back, very good one-on-one as well. Now, yes, he's not the tallest, but at the same time, height's not always essential. It's not always essential every single time. We've seen guys like Cannavaro, Italian legend, that didn't really have the height, but was still a defensive genius. So many other examples as well. And, playing in this system too, times where Tomori might have to push out wide to help defend, he's very adept at doing that. So Luiz and Tomori makes some sense. Obviously, Luiz having that experience looking after Tomori, that could really bang. Now, moving on to the left back slot, a young Dutch maestro himself, Ian Maatsen. And Maatsen was someone that really impressed the entire fan base. And honestly, when I say this, it's a typical Chelsea player. It's a typical player that we like to sign for the academy. You guys wouldn't even imagine that, a lot of times he plays in defence, plays on the left, he's played in midfield, and he's played in the forward positions as well. A typical Dutch player and a typical Chelsea player. I mean, look how silky he is, his first touch, what he does with the ball as well, and how he gets forward. So Ian Maatsen tomorrow is going to be interesting to see. And playing right back is going to be David Zappacosta. And Zappacosta, I don't see him staying here. Once Reece returns, that's going to spell the end for him. So, yeah, enjoy your pre-season, Zappacosta. Now, moving on to the midfield. Starting in the base of midfield, I see that being Jorginho. Now, Jorginho in a diamond and the base, it makes a lot of sense. One thing I really stress to you guys is that, I like to try and understand how the manager might be thinking. Now, Lampard's, I'm assuming would take a lot of inspiration from his playing career. Obviously, he was one of the best goal-scoring midfield players in the history of the game. And when he was playing for us, he was playing in very positive systems and formations that got the very best out of him. And of course, playing in a diamond, Lampard had Mikel in this position. So I could see Jorginho effectively, taking over that role. And of course, this allows the fullbacks to really get forward to provide that width a lot. And we know that Zappa Costa is very offensive orientated. We know that Ian Matson's very comfortable pushing forward as well. And I could see this making quite a lot of sense. But anyway, let me continue on with the lineup. And in midfield, alongside Jorginho, I've got Kova in the Kante role. I've got Ross Barkley on the left-hand side. And in the diamond, I've got none other than Mason Mount. I think this makes the most sense. I think that Mason Mount playing at the tip, he's very good playing between the lines, in the half spaces as well. He's comfortable playing with his back to goal, operating in the spaces, knowing where to move. I don't really feel that Ross Barkley is as good when it comes to that part of the game. And he may be better, obviously, facing the goal as he's playing so he can see everyone in front of him. We've seen time and time again last season that he would constantly lose possession of the ball because he wasn't as press resistant. So I see Barkley on the left hand side. And with Kova, Kova is very good defensively. The stats came out and it shows that he covers tons of ground. He helps the team defensively, wins a lot of tackles, and he does all the nitty gritty. And we have to respect the midfield. It doesn't mean that you have to get 10 goals a season. Not every midfield player has the same profile. We need to understand that and be fair on Kova. And I think that, this is the midfield that I see in the preseason game tomorrow. One of the main reasons to you guys is that a lot of these players need to get their fitness. And I think that with the first half lineup, they're most likely more fitter than the second half lineup. So I see this happening. And up front, it's going to be Tammy. And alongside him, the goal scorer in the last game, Michy Batshuayi. If I can just click on the Donny here, my guy's right here. Now, when it comes to Tammy, he's the guy that's going to help hold up possession of the ball. Very good operating across, the front areas as well. And has a very good goal threat. The same thing with Michy. It'll be interesting to see how they do combine. I'm expecting maybe Mason to try and link up with Tammy more. So could that potentially mean that Tammy might drop a bit deeper at times to help with the link up? When it comes to Michy, his game's not that good when it comes to anything that doesn't involve scoring goals. Might sound a bit harsh, but that's what I see. And I think he's much better at just operating in the box, not having any other responsibilities other than movement and scoring. And it could be very interesting to see. Now, of course, you guys, remember this is pre-season. So what you could do for yourselves when you consider the other players that aren't fully fit or haven't returned just yet or are currently injured right now, I'm sure that you can apply, these guys for like certain positions. Like, for example, Ruben starting in the future. He'd most likely play here, for example, and, so on and so forth. But these are the two lineups I see us using for tomorrow. These are the teams I see us using as well. It's going to be very fascinating. I'm really hoping to watch a few more preseason games to really try and understand the nuances of Lampard, his system, what he's trying to do with the team as well. So that's going to be very interesting. But on that note, you guys, I'm going to keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. See you guys tomorrow.